All right, tough ball game. Again versus a really good football team. Drake May is a football player. I mean, regardless of what coverage we put at him, the guy seemed to make a lot of plays. Obviously Phil Dracovic left at the end of the first half with an injury, and that hurt us. I thought Phil really played well in the first half and made a lot of plays. Took that opening drive down the field for a touchdown, an 8-minute drive. Gavin Bartholomew played well. I mean, Kenny Johnson, you saw what type of big plays he could make on a kickoff return. Block punt in the second half by Biles. That's his second in the year, true freshman from Columbus, Ohio. I mean, he's got a knack. He almost got another one, it looked like, out there. But we had our opportunities. We had our opportunities in the second half. My observation from the sideline is our kids played hard, never quit. You got 3 turnovers in the second half. 3 turnovers in the second half with Drake May at quarterback. You're going to have problems. 2 interceptions, a fumble. The one that really hurt after that block punt, we got the ball at the plus 20. Again, you're talking about a 17-point game. We had our opportunities in the second half and didn't convert. A lot of things happened. Penalties, were lopsided today. Started with that strip sack that I thought was a sack or a sack strip, and they get the ball. It was a big play for our defense that didn't pan out that way. Our punt team gave up 2 returns, and from the sideline, we can't put the ball in the middle of the field and let that guy. I don't know what they did with our gunners. We'll see it. But we put the ball in the middle of the field, and Junko's been great all year, putting it outside the hashes. But we put it in the middle of the field, and so we've got to clean that up this week. Gave a punt return for a touchdown. I mean, look at 17 points and the opportunities. We had opportunities, again, against a really good football team. Again, the second half hurt us with 3 turnovers. So, questions?
Pat, is Phil in the protocol, or is the extent of that?
He's not in protocol.
Pat, what does it say about Phil, who, he's been through a lot in these last couple of weeks? What does it say about him to come out here and play like he did in the first half today?
I wish you'd have got 4 quarters. I wish you'd have got 4 quarters. He didn't turn it over at all in the first half. Made good decisions, threw one away on their sideline the one time, when he didn't have time. Again, protection wasn't great, as you guys know. We had, the 4th different offensive line in there in 4 games. So we had 2 starters out this week. We'll look and see, but, we gave up 2 sacks. They had 5, we got 5 sacks on them. So did we protect the quarterback? Not as well as we want to. They took some hits. Phil did a good job running it, and we thought we had one in the second half, a deep ball, but, Christian didn't have a chance and got, whacked too quickly on a protection that we had extra guys, and got beat inside with chip protection. We get chip protection, and, we're chipping the end, and then you should never, ever get beat inside because, you got, chip help outside. And, protection-wise, we did the best to protect our quarterbacks all day, knowing what we were lining up with as far as personnel goes. So.
Pat, Phil completed his first 7 throws, but it was for pretty short yardage. Was there kind of a concerted effort to get him some of that underneath stuff, to get his feet underneath him, or what was that kind of plan early on for him to kind of get established there?
They were completed passes, and it didn't matter what was called. We're trying to get the ball to what we thought was open, and whether you want to call it easy passes. There's no easy passes out there. You can even see in the second half with some short throws that are tipped and the ball's going around, and you're like, holding your breath. It's not another interception. So, it was just part of the game plan.
I'm sorry. We tried some different things in the secondary to try to either confuse or just give them different goals.
We did a lot of different stuff back there, but I've never seen so many passes caught on the sideline. I mean, it's great execution by them, and we got guys in coverage. The only big one we gave up was they kind of ran a spin route on us. And again, I'll look at really what exactly happened. I think they lined up in trips bunch. I think we gave up a 52-yarder in the second half in the first series, I believe, which hurt. But Drake May's a good quarterback, guys. I don't know how many throws he missed, but we put pressure on him. He did beat us with his feet sometimes down inside the red zone, where we had it covered, and all of a sudden he takes off running. It's like, It's hard when they're blocking with 5 and or 6 guys, and you got 4-man rush or whatever it is, 5-man rush, and he slips out and gains yards. So then there were some good coverage sacks, I can tell you that.
With more shuffling on the offensive line, do you feel like the protection was improved tonight from what you had last week and maybe the week before?
Yes and no. I mean, some plays, but we had our chances. We got to do a better job protecting. Again, I got faith in all those guys in there. Like I told them, it doesn't matter. I told them last week. During the week, I remember coming in here against a Virginia Tech team with about 21 guys down. I didn't know. I told Heather, I don't know if we could play the game, and we had backups across the board, and and I think our guys got excited about that too. It doesn't matter who's out there. We still had a chance to win with a makeshift offensive line. And we had a chance, and we just didn't make enough plays in the second half and really gave it to them.
You guys had 11 penalties for 83 yards. I mean, what do you have to do to minimize those self-mistakes?
We had a taunting penalty after a big hit by Donovan McMillan, and but from my observation, there were some calls that were made that I didn't really care for. So. I see it going both ways, but Pitt got called today, so I guess it's on us.
We are up against the deadline here. We're going to take 2 more. Chris, you got this one.
What do you guys have to do better against Drake May on the 4 or 5 touchdowns to start the game? Your offense did have a hot start. I know that he limits how much you can do, but when you look at what you guys were able to do in the first half, what do you have to do better?
Cover him better, get pressure. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's a really good player. I think what would we give up? 373 yards. That's clearly probably 100 yards underneath their average. But he made enough completions and made some plays. I mean, their one touchdown in the second half. Their one touchdown in the second half, he carries it. I think Nate Temple's on him, and he throws a touchdown pass. The only problem is there's a tight end blocking about 12 yards down the field that should be called. He's blocking. It was a run. And but the penalties are on us and not on them. So I don't know what else to tell you. He's a good football player. I don't know what you give him a lot of credit. He's a really good football player.
You mentioned last one.
You mentioned the punt returns they had, including the touchdown. Both of those came on punts that were at least 50 yards. Just in addition to leaving it maybe more in the middle of the field, was there any issues there maybe with hang time? Anything you saw in real time?
I didn't get the hang time on it. I was kind of mad that I didn't get it. I was looking for it, and we were busy trying to fix something else and didn't get it. But the hang time looked good. I don't know if we outkicked our coverage, but our gunners got wired up. I know that, and got blocked to the field, and he took it. So, from the field, the punt, it's more location as opposed to hang time. I don't think, but. I don't have a stopwatch on me. Apologize.
Coach, thank you very much.
I'm gonna throw this out here. Just last thing. I thought the Panther Pit was, that was an electric atmosphere. Our fans did an unbelievable job again. I can't tell you how much we appreciate, all the fans out there. And that Panther Pit was loud, and they're unbelievable. They do a great job, and I wish we would have got this win. I feel bad for them, but we will be back. There's no quit in that locker room. Let me just tell you, they're upset. We'll fix stuff. And we're going to come back. I told them, and I think I told maybe the media on Thursday that the team, maybe it was a radio show, the 2 teams that'll be in the championship game at the end of the year will have 1 loss, guaranteed. There's too much parity in this conference, and there's going to be 2 teams with 1 loss, I think, in the division or in the conference, and so everything we want to do is still ahead of us. That's a good football team, and we'll bounce back and go down to Virginia Tech and get it done. Thank you.